Philadelphia is a very Catholic city, and the Knights of Columbus, they stood out. They were the rock upon which a lot of foundations were formed. They took care of so many people. My dad joined the Knights, and it changed his life. They were role models. I was born and raised at 812 Brooklyn Street, so I was an Eagles fan all my life. I was very lucky. Never did I think I was going to work in the NFL. I took the job very serious as a sacred trust because you literally change people's lives. I got raised up to the assistant to the general manager, Pete Retzlaff, tight end, who hired me. And then when Pete left, I was made probably the youngest general manager without a family tie in the history of the NFL. Here I am, a little dead ender from Brooklyn Street, sitting there with all these guys that run the NFL. There was a reverence, and there was a good atmosphere, and there was brotherhood. We had a player named Fred Hill, and unfortunately, he got a punch in the heart. As a child, Kim got leukemia. A bunch of neighbors started a charity called Eagles Fly for Leukemia. And Leonard Toes, who was the owner, he called me over and he said, find out what this charity's about. It's got our name, and, maybe we can help them even more. And then the McMiracle, as I call it, started from there. I remember I get in the car and I drive to Children's Hospital. And Dr. Evans was a world-class oncologist. She says, when I tell a family their child has leukemia, I've changed their life forever. So I'd like to get a room in a YMCA where they could stay while their child's being. And I thought, Doc, you need a house. Good, get us a house. I call a guy named Don Tuckerman. Well, he works for the ad agency for McDonald's. I said, can I get 25 cents from each Shamrock Shake for this house? And he said, if we give you all the money, can we call it the Ronald McDonald House? But I didn't realize that a child was not afraid to walk through those doors because that house was named after Ronald. As we sit here today, there are 365 houses all over the world. I love the power of sport being something you could give and share. I've literally made friends for life with so many people that the Ronald House was my spiritual Super Bowl.
I'm really glad that Jimmy Murray founded this first Ronald McDonald House because it's helped me and my family tremendously. It makes you feel less alone. It makes it feel like more of a community. Our son, he had this diagnosis of occipital encephalocele. So the brain starts to grow outside of the skull, meaning there was a good chance he was gonna die. And he came out kicking and screaming. You're doing God's work.
Oh, it's 100% from God. Seeing him smile when you were talking, he was glowing. Look, there it is. There it is. That's why we're here. You got to become a knight, Pio. We got to sign you up. Yeah, we're going to sign you up. I think everything comes from your faith. I think anything good. I belong to a lot of different things in my life, whether it's the NFL, the Marine Corps, the Knights of Columbus. I think the Knights of Columbus is a great way of saying thank you. You just can't be a taker. You have to give back. And Knights are ordinary people that do extraordinary things. Life's a team sport. A child gets sick, everybody rallies around them. It's the ultimate huddle, and that's the McMiracle, I call it.